Welcome to Sports Talk here on WYLN, your weekly source for Hazleton Area High School football. I'm your host, Marty Burns. I'll be joined tonight by Hazleton Area head football coach Mike Brennan and a very special guest from the Cougar football team. We'll go over the opening week loss to Pottsville and a look ahead to another road trip, this time to arch rival Wyoming Valley West, and that'll be this Friday night to kick off the Labor Day weekend. So we got a busy show coming up. We'll be back to kick it off right after this.
Your exciting new TV experience is here. Smarter, faster, easier to use. With live TV, recordings, video on demand, and streaming apps, all in a single place. When you're looking for something new, recommendations are tailored to you. Voice-powered, personalized results to find what you want faster. And the unlimited potential of smart home. The new experience from TiVo is here.
Barber Ford has the largest selection of Ford commercial vehicles in Northeast PA with over 50 Super Duties in stock. Plus, Barber Ford is the only Ford commercial vehicle center in the area, participating with the state's cooperative purchasing program, CoStars. Barber Ford, where the pros go for trucks.
Sacco Chiropractic, East Broad Street in Hazleton, has the health care you've been waiting for. Whether it's a chronic issue or something new, Sacco Chiropractic has the most up-to-date techniques and therapies to help with any ailment. From his days of playing football with the Cougars and then in college, Dr. Scott Sacco has an elite understanding of sports injuries and how to correct them. Whether you are an athlete, a weekend warrior, or a grandmother, we can help with multiple issues. Call today to see why relief is super, man. 570-497-4150.
This is your home, your car, and you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance.
In Hazleton, talk to State Farm agent Pete Keselica.
You've seen university advertising. A student like me pitching you the same old ideas. But I'm not gonna do that.
Instead, I'm gonna tell you what you can do with a Penn State degree. You can help anyone. Go anywhere. Create! And with 20 campuses to choose from, you'll always feel at home.
Look, Penn State is amazing, but your best years are just beginning. Come find out for yourself.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
Welcome back to Sports Talk here on WYLN, your weekly source for Hazleton Area High School football. I'm your host, Marty Burns, and as always, I'm joined by the head football coach at Hazleton Area High School, Mike Brennan. And Coach, before we get to the opening night loss, one of the things that I hadn't talked to you about, and probably should have, but we had a lot of information we went in last week. You're from the Pottsville area, played at Nativity, coached Nativity. How is it for you personally to end up going back to Pottsville with your football team for a game?
Well, you know, it was an exciting time. I played my youth football games on that field and my high school games in that field, and know a lot of people in the community, obviously. So played down there many times throughout my career, and coached there many times throughout my career, and I've had a lot of success in that field. And we obviously struggled on Friday night. It was very disappointing. So it was a more exciting ride down than it was ride back. But it was certainly a learning experience for our team, and a little bit of a humbling experience, because for how productive we were in our off-season workouts and the preseason workouts, it certainly we didn't reflect that on Friday night.
And I was going to ask you that, and you mentioned teaching experience. Is it one of those that, especially with such a group that's either so very young and or lacks the game experience that you've been used to the last couple of years with your team, that it starts right from the go, that you've got to be ready. The most important play is the play ahead of you. The next important play is the very next play, and you can't get too far ahead. where that you never know when the biggest play of the game could be. And as it turns out, for argument's sake, the biggest game might have been that opening kickoff.
Yeah, my college coach, Jerry Burnt, who was very successful at Penn and Rice and came to Temple, always said football games are decided by 6 plays. In most cases, 6 plays, and we did not make those 6 plays. They also got some momentum early, but they also have a veteran team that threw the ball extremely well. It was almost a role reversal from last year's team where they had 23 seniors and a lot of skill. We knew their 2 receivers were outstanding players. Mm-hmm. They had a lot of success on a basketball court. Went to the Eastern Final last year, and those kids were used to that success. And what we didn't know was some of the other guys have the ability to make plays. We really took away Shank and Barnes with what we were trying to do defensively, and they really did a nice job of exploiting us with the tight end and with the other guy, Addison Mullins. The running game for the second consecutive week, we bottled up the run. We did it against Stroudsburg on the road. We did it against Pottsville. The Walchalk kid got out for about a 50-yard gain in the second quarter when we were in prevent defense. But other than that, we've been solid against the run, but we've struggled against the pass the last 2 weeks. Our plays in the Stroudsburg scrimmage have hurt us. We're giving up in the passing game, and certainly the other night, the Yost kid was spot on. Our kids played exceptionally well, and we hit a little bit of a buzzsaw. It's never as bad as you think. We are not that bad of a football team. I'm 100% confident in that, and I really feel like we will recover. First of all, emotionally, and then mentally get ourselves in the right frame of mind over the course of the week, and by Friday night we'll be ready to play Valley West.
And before we get too far along, because usually at the end of the show we'll preview Valley West, but is it good that you get a rival next? You're coming off a loss where you got to lick your wounds and regroup as a group and come together and once again go on the road. But that it is a rival in Wyoming Valley West that you're going to face next.
I think so. They had a very tough game at Scranton last week. They came up on top 14-10. I really feel, Marty, that this year in our league, everybody's in the same boat. If you look at it, Valley West is a relatively young team. Mm-hmm. They have some really physical kids. They're the same old, and you watch them. Big and physical, they'll go foot-to-foot splits. They'll try to run the ball at you. Give you some unique sets. But you look down the road at the rest of the teams in the schedule, the Scranton, which Valley West played, the Crestwood and Wilkes-Barres and the Williamsports. I mean, everybody's sort of crying that there's not a lot of kids in the program, and they're young, so it's unique. I mean, I don't think we have as many kids playing high school football. I really don't, and it's sad for us football purists that have watched the game for years, but certainly we don't have the sheer number of kids we used to have, and it's across the board. You hear the complaints from the guys in the rest of the conference and the Lackawanna League and Schuylkill County and everywhere, and numbers are sort of down. So I think we're having more of those rebuilding type years, almost like the small schools had for years. Mm-hmm. The small schools in the Schuylkill County used to always it was so cyclical because they almost took turns. And we're starting to see that, I think, even with our bigger schools. Look at Williamsport 3 years ago, Marty, looked like they were never going to go away. Right. When they had those dominant teams with those 5 kids who were all state, and they were super on offense, and we were able to beat them in the playoffs the last 2 years. So just that quickly, they fell into a rebuilding mode. So it is what it is. I mean, if you want to coach high school football for the long haul, you deal with the ups and downs. That's what it is. You're dealing with high school kids that have busy lives, and you deal with the ups and downs. And Friday night was a down, and certainly this Friday night, just that quickly, could be a positive experience for our kids.
Now, when we talk about you were talking about how the game went defensively, offensively. I know we talked a lot about it that not a lot of experience coming back on the line and on all the yardage that was lost from your skill position due to graduation. How do you feel about your offense coming out of week 1?
We struggled, no question about it. And part of our problem is, one, we have too many guys playing both ways. We're on the verge. Some guys are on the verge of competing at the varsity level for us. They're right there. But with the change in the schedule with one scrimmage, I said this before, for all intents and purposes, that was our second scrimmage. Mm-hmm. When you're an inexperienced team, you're trying to learn about yourself. 1 week's not enough to learn about yourself. Heat acclimation, there's no contact. Mm-hmm. So you have a couple days of contact, you have a scrimmage, then you're in game week routine. you're not able to compete in a near squad scrimmage. You're not able to compete in any kind of cooperative practice with another program or another scrimmage. And then you line up on a Friday night and you find out things about yourself that maybe you don't like. Pottsville had that last year against us. You know, speaking of those guys, they felt like they weren't ready to play us last year. And certainly the other night, it was almost like a carbon copy the opposite way, you know, where we sort of felt like we learned some things about ourselves and some changes that have to be made. And one of them was we have to try to find ways to get guys off the field more both ways. We have too many guys going both ways. But again, till we have some JV games under our belt and develop some of those younger guys or even those older guys that are right in the cusp of playing, that's what we felt we had to do to have the best opportunity to win.
And I know Coach DeMelfi always likes to talk about how coaches, no matter what level you talk about, is your biggest jump is from week 1 to week 2 as far as improvement goes. And, we talked about some of the younger kids that you were going to end up playing. Mm-hmm. You know, a young man, say, like Matthew Casanis that ended up getting his first career touchdown Friday night. Mm-hmm. They got their feet wet. Can you see, like, these younger kids maybe taking that big jump in far as improvement from week 1 to week 2?
Absolutely. He was a little bit of a success story the other night. He was able to make some plays for us and had the big touchdown, had some touches and kickoff return, and things went well for him. Sometimes that doesn't happen so well, and you have some guys that you hurt them emotionally a little bit. You bury them a little bit temporarily because maybe they're not ready to be in that role or have that kind of opportunity, and then things don't go as well, and they feel like they're not able to do it right now, and then you're sort of patting them in the back and piecing it together a little bit. So you try to bring them along at the pace that you feel is best for them and their confidence level. But Matthew did a nice job there tonight. He showed that he's a player. He showed that he belongs in the field, and he can, he has the motor to play, on both sides of the ball and in special teams, we think.
Okay, Coach, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about, at the end of the show, hopefully that improvement from week 1 to week 2 when you travel to Wyoming Valley West and take on the Spartans. But up next, for the first guest of the 2019 season, we have Jason Beaver, and that's next here on Sports Talk on WYLN.
Stop in at Two Italian Guys Pizzeria for the best pizza in town, serving a large variety of pizza, stromboli, and so much more. Open till 3 a.m. Take out or eat in, delivery available. Call 570-459-2783.
Tri-County has been keeping your office up to speed since 1969. Everything your office needs: office supplies, personal and custom business forms, business cards, office furniture, new and used office equipment, copy, print, and scan solutions with wide format capabilities. Leasing is also available, free off-street parking, and free local delivery. Tri-County Business Machines, 117 East Broad Street in Hazleton, 570-459-0754. Family owned and operated since 1969.
Ralph M. Cameron, specializing in quality and affordable construction services for residential, commercial, and industrial. Licensed and insured. Call 570-401-0654 today for all your construction needs.
Chris and Ashley are working on a new Pocono Mountains magazine.
I hear they have a lot of stuff to pull together.
We need a magazine.
Like a map?
Exactly.
Somewhere that shows all the great restaurants, date nights, girls' weekends, skiing, water parks, and maybe spas?
Exactly.
I have no idea where that could be.
Why not get your own copy of Pocono Mountains magazine at PoconoMountains.com.
Have an electrical problem? Call the Wire Guys. Need lights installed? Call the Wire Guys. Anything and everything electrical, big or small. Our rigorously trained licensed electricians are fully screened, always on time, work neat, clean, and thorough. The Wire Guys. We're here 24/7, 365. All of our work is guaranteed 100%. When you need electrical work, you need
Wire Guys. BLB Auto Sales, a division of Bar Bush Automotive. BLB has deals that can't be beat. They carry trucks, vans, SUVs, sedans, and sports cars, and all at the lowest prices. Bar Bush Automotive can handle all vehicle repairs since they do it all. Check out their specials: oil change and filter, just $19.95. Alignment, $49.95. Professional and good people. Call 570-454-7571.
Hey y'all, this is Ray Merrill from Blaze Alexander Greater Hazleton with the summer clearance event. You think it's hot out here? The deals are even hotter. If you're in the market for a Jeep, a Ram, a Chrysler, come see what's happening here at Blaze Alexander. We're taking over $5 grand off Compasses, $7 grand off Jeep Cherokees. We're saving over $10,000 on the Ram. So come on down and see us at Blaze Alexander's at Greater Hazleton, or check our deals out online at blazealexander.com. We have the lowest price guarantee on everything on this Chrysler lot. Come on down to Blaze Alexander's and see why we take the deals the other guys won't.
Welcome back to Sports Talk here on WYLN, your weekly source for Hazleton Area High School football. I'm your host, Marty Burns, joined as always in the middle by head football coach Mike Brennan, and to my far right we have junior left tackle Jason Beaver. And Jason, thanks a lot for joining us this week.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Coach, we talked about last week, this young man, basically the anchor on your offensive line, is one of the veterans coming back. Just talk about this young man, what he means to your program.
First of all, he's an outstanding student. You know, he's an outstanding person. He treats everyone with respect. He's well respected within our school community and our program, and he always has been. You know, as a football player, he's got tremendous athletic ability. You know, for a young guy, he's a good pass protector. You know, he's a run blocker. He's finessey right now. We're teaching him how to become more physical. That's going to be part of his game as he moves forward. But he's got all the intelligence and all the intangibles to be a really good high school lineman and to be a lineman at the next level.
Okay, now Jason, we talked about it. You're the one with the most experience coming back on this offensive line, and that was known coming in to start the season. Just talk about how, you know, you did work with some of the guys that are with you now, but you do have some newcomers coming onto that offensive line. Talk about as being a leader on that line, getting everybody to mesh together.
There's nothing really to say. I mean, just gotta teach the guys how to play Friday night football.
Okay, now, you know, we talk so often about getting the offense to work together, and one of the key cogs is you guys on an offensive line and also with the tight end in creating the holes, or in the passing game, being able to pass protect. But the other thing is you guys have calls on your offensive line as well, because, you know, each play you don't know what the defense is going to bring you. Just talk about how key communication is.
Communication is very big, because you could have a backer coming up that you could see late, and it's got to be a call right then and there. And it's not like pulling plays when we're running counter or power. If that guy's farther out, you got to make a call and could make the play or not.
Now, we've talked about with Coach that, you know, you lost a lot of guys from the skill positions from last year. And, you know, a lot of the guys that we bring on the show from the line that we talked about with Sparky, how Sparky would keep plays alive. Now you got a new quarterback back there in Matt Fisher. Talk about how you have to get used to now, you know, Matt's going to be a totally different person than Sparky. You know, nobody's always the same. So talk about how now you've got to adjust your game to the way Matt plays as well.
It's not too much of a big adjustment. You know, Fish likes to stay in the pocket a little bit more than Sparky did, and I think he's got to take a little bit of time to take more time to develop a downfield pass.
And we've talked about so much, and we mentioned in the last segment the improvements from week 1 to week 2, and I would think that you guys, not only on the practice field, but also now there's film on Wyoming Valley West. You know, you're going to go into the film room and see what they're going to do to you defensively. Just the talk about preparation and getting ready for week number 2.
Yeah, we actually just came from watching film right now, and going to watch film at my house on Huddle every night for 20 minutes and see what the guys are giving us.
Now, the other thing that Coach mentioned when he talked about you, and I'm always impressed by this, one of the first things he mentioned is you're a good student. So talk about how you're able to balance the football, and I know school has just started, so it's tough to say this year that you're balancing your schoolwork, but you know, as the years can progress, you're going to have to be able to balance your schoolwork and the football. And in order to do that, be a leader on this team to show the rest of your teammates that, hey, yeah, we do our football work, but we also got to do the work at school too, in order for us to be out here and participate on the football field.
Yeah, school's always been number one to me and my family. Football's always number two, but right behind school is football, and got to balance that out.
Well, Jason, we appreciate you coming on this week. Best of luck in week number 2, and let's get it to 1-1 against Wyoming Valley West.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we're going to talk about those Spartans coming up as we conclude Sports Talk right here on WYLN.
Bonanza Steakhouse, 574 Susquehanna Boulevard in Hazel Township, has an unbeatable buffet filled with something for everyone. Our menu includes the finest flame-grilled steaks, barbecue ribs, chicken, seafood, or sandwiches. You can add the buffet to any entree for a little more. Bonanza features daily specials. Join us Saturday and Sunday for our breakfast buffet that includes our famous omelet and egg station, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m.
The Falvella Law Firm, located at 641 Route 93 in Sugarloaf, offers help with car and truck accidents, wills, powers of attorney, and estates. With a small team of attorneys, they work directly with each and every client, serving all of northeastern Pennsylvania. They are proud to offer legal services that make a real difference to you. Call them at 570-788-4191.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice,
everyday low prices,
plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton. Everything to make your house a home.
Experience the beauty of the Valley Country Club and let them sponsor you for your next event. Toss the flowers and dance the night away with their course as your backdrop. Let Valley Country Club host your next special occasion, whether it's a bridal or baby shower, anniversary, celebration of life, pool party, charity fundraiser, business meeting, golf outing, corporate, private, or social event.
Not only is Krugel's Georgetown Deli and Beer your craft beer headquarters, they have great food too. Check out Georgetown's Pub Fair menu. G-Town scallops, cheesy crab pretzel, smoked brisket, smoked wings, and more. Or how about their Flight and Bites with your choice of sauces and 5-ounce draft beers. They have a great selection of craft beers on tap, and you can get it to go in a crowler. Stop in and play Keno or other Pennsylvania lottery games. Krugel's Georgetown Deli and Beer in Wilkes-Barre Township, right next to the Big Cow. Check them out on the web at georgetowndeli.com.
Welcome back to Sports Talk, your weekly source for Hazleton area high school football. I'm your host, Marty Burns, joined as always by Cougar head football coach Mike Brennan, and we're here to wrap it up. And when we wrap it up, we're talking about this week's opponent. And Coach, we talked about road trip against the rival in Wyoming Valley West. To start, a little bit of a different look from these Spartans. Coach Keating is gone, and now Coach Baranski takes over. What do you see different in this Spartan group?
Well, defensively, nothing, because Coach Baranski ran the defense for years up there, and you'll see a lot of the same things defensively. Physicality, just the same scheme, and they have a very good scheme with a lot of pressure. So offensively, they show a lot of the same things they did last year. They like some unbalanced looks. The linemen are going to go foot to foot with their splits. They're going to try to bully you and push you off the ball. They want to run. They have the fullback and linebacker runs hard, 42, 26 runs hard. The quarterback's got the ability to run as well. But they're a nice football team. They have the Gardner kid out in the edge. Wears number 2, who's one of their better athletes as well. So they were able to pull out the win last week against Scranton up at Scranton, 14-10, and they're the same old. They say it every year about Valley West because they look the same to me. Mm-hmm. They're physical. They'll line up. They want to run the ball at you, and we have to do a better job this week with finding a way to keep them off the board.
And with the quarterback that likes to run, is it one of those that, once again, defensively you have to stay disciplined because you don't want to let him start running crazy, but you also got to understand that he still may take the option to pass as well.
He does have a live arm. He can get the ball downfield. They do take their shots. Matter of fact, one of their scores last week was a long throw where they isolated the Garner kid in the backside of a 3-receiver set. So, you know, they will take their shots. They took a shot early in the scrimmage against Pittston. You know, they're certainly not afraid to line up and throw the ball downfield, but they can do some different things well in terms of running the ball physically and throwing the ball and keeping you off balance. So we expect, you know, to see everything from their offense.
And we talked about it last week that if Pottsville would look to try to attack you in the passing game, that you'd want to get that pass rush. You got to get the pass rush on the quarterback. And then I would think that, you know, if you don't get the pass rush, you mentioned Garner a few times, that I would figure that that's where your attention's going to be.
Yeah, they'll run them in a jet sweep. You know, they'll try to get them downfield. So obviously you have to. But I really believe that the best way to have the best opportunity to beat Wyoming Valley West is to slow down the run game. You know, make them get in uncomfortable situations and long downs, because they want to go foot to foot and they want to line up and grind you 4 or 5 yards a pop. It doesn't have to be flashy, but that's their MO a lot, is to do that. So if you allow them to do that, we did at times last year, they had those streaks where they ran the football on us out of some unbalanced sets, and I do anticipate them wanting to do that again.
And now we talked about it defensively, same thing, they're going to want to be physical and that type of thing. From looking at them in their film against Scranton, they held Scranton to 10 points. What do you see from them defensively that may give you guys some problems?
They're extremely aggressive. A lot of Scranton success, they ran 3 screen passes for positive yardage. They got outside a little bit in the edge with some of the speed Scranton has, you know, but they're good defensively, no doubt about it. So their aggressiveness defensively is something we have to counter, you know, with some misdirection, with some quick, with some diversion, and certainly with our passing game and play action pass. We have to be more effective than we were last week.
And when you look at them special teams wise, I would think that somewhere along the way they have Garner involved when you're kicking them the football.
Yeah, he's a guy you don't want to kick the ball to. You know, you just want to, you know, Luke Russo did a nice job kicking the ball last week. He works very hard at it. He'll get better week in, week out here as a sophomore. So in our punting game and our kicking game, you know, we don't want to give them the ability to make clean fields of the football. We want the ball to bounce around. We want the ball to be a little bit so we can have a chance to cover it. So we have to make sure we're not kicking the ball directly to Garner especially. But there are a couple other guys who can make plays as well.
And then opposite way, what do you look for in your return game?
They're game-changing plays, and we've been very good the last few years at returning kickoffs. So you know, you want to get guys on there that are on the field and experienced, guys that aren't afraid to run, that get in front of people, that maintain their blocks, and you want to lock that ball away, and you want to get north and have a chance to start your possessions at least outside the 35-yard line. You know, and with a chance of busting one and starting in their field position or taking it the distance. And like I say, Coach Drummy coaches that really hard. Our kids take great pride in our kickoff return team, and it's really nice when you start off a game or start off a half, or you recover and kill their momentum right away after they do score with a great kickoff return.
Now, Coach, keys to victory in week number 2.
Obviously, defensively, we need to be better. You know, we struggled against the pass the last 2 weeks. That's got to be a very important part of our game. We can't let them get behind us and get deep. But Valley West is going to try to run the football. So with that being said, we have to line up and be physical against the run. And we certainly offensively have to improve in all facets. You know, we have to throw the ball better, protect better, get off the ball better, run the ball better, you know, not turn the ball over. For all intents and purposes, we had 3 turnovers. And we have to play a little more close to the vest. We're not making mistakes offensively.
Coach, best of luck. Here's hoping for 1-1 after week number 2.
Thank you, Marty.
For Coach Brennan, for Jason Beaver, I'm Marty Burns saying so long. Join us next week for another edition of Sports Talk here on WILN. We'll go over the Wyoming Valley West game, look ahead to the home opener against Dallas, and we'll have another special guest from the Cougar football team. That's all next week on Sports Talk here on WILN.